Oh, that was it back to you, Brother Brooks, since you
Oh, sorry, I had my phone on mute. But yeah, we just finished what I feel like saying now, and then now we're gonna move into miracle moments and announcements. Um, okay, so miracle moment. I'll start off miracle moment for just today. I was out in my backyard and just happened to catch a baby bird in my bare hand. That's never happened before. Um, it was not a big bird. It was a smaller. It looked like it was um, having trouble flying, and so I had picked it up, very softly and smoothly, obviously, and then I moved it into a clear place. And while I'm doing this, the other birds are like, they're all like calling out to each other. Seems like there's a family of them that's all in the backyard. And after I smoothed out its fur and gave it some, magical spirit, I placed it on the ground and it was able to fly after that, and it flew to the person or the group of birds that was calling it, and they all started like rejoicing. So that's my miracle moment.
Okay, well, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a miracle moment because basically it was a realization for me. Um, so over the past few weeks, I had conversations with different people, and these conversations somehow led to like their relationship with God. And I've been one of my goals has been to improve my relationship with God, like to grow closer to God. And these conversations that I had with these individuals all confirmed one thing, and that's the fact that you should have like that friendship. Like even if everybody's different, everybody has their different beliefs, but I think that experience with your inner being, I think that it's important to have a connection. So it was funny because through these conversations, I kind of learned that what I was doing, like what I picked up from my mom, because one thing about my mom is that she's always talking to God, and like she would pray, I guess in a traditional sense, like on her hands and knees too, but she would just always talk to God, like conversational, and I thought that was so dope, and that's one thing that I've adopted. And just talking to these other people, I saw how their relationship, like their communication with God, was like so casual too, and not just super formal or church-like. It was more personal, and so just realizing that that was something that was something that I needed to know to realize in this journey that I'm on, and so that was super dope. So I just thought I'd mention that as a miracle moment.
All right, thank you, SB. Does anyone else have any miracle moments? I can share one more. Um, last Saturday, it was me and Kai's anniversary. So we ended up going to a club, and we were about to go back home afterwards. But randomly ended up stopping at this other like bar, and it was a man's birthday. So I guess he had just turned 56. And he looked like he was maybe, I don't know, 30, maybe 35. So he was super young. But there was all these people there. We never been to this place before. So then all these people were all coming out, and he's singing and serenading this girl, this woman that he was dating, I suppose. And then on this other random girl we see there, she looks like my sister-in-law, and so I'm noticing that, and she's taking shots with the brother's taking shots with the girl. I think they're brother and sister, the sister-in-law look alike. And so, anyways, that night happens. The next day, we go to my brother's, my brother Matthew. He just graduated from Sac State. So, that's like, it was a graduation, the black graduation. So, it was, a lot of, I'd probably say about 1,000 graduates. It could have been maybe 500 to 1,000. So it's a lot of folks, a lot of black people all together, and it's a huge auditorium. I see them graduate everything. Randomly, I am out with all the graduates. It's a huge baby event. After people walk the stage, they go out, take pictures, and doing all these stepping and everything. So the miracle here is that randomly I see the girl from that bar that we almost didn't go to. There was other bars I was trying to see because we don't go out that much around this area. But I see the girl who was like the brother's, who was basically my sister-in-law's lookalike is there, and then there's another guy that she is talking to who I recognize from years ago. And so she, walks up. I guess they give each other a peck on the lips. She walks away. And then I go up to this guy and I'm like, I recognize you. And he doesn't recognize me. But after I talked to him for a bit, it turns out, me and him, he did know me. He was like, oh yeah, you play rugby for Harvard. I'm like, close, I play rugby for Stanford, I guess, Harvard of the West. But, that was a miracle. That just made me real curious after the whole affair. So anywho, that's another miracle. Is there any more miracles before we move on? All right. And announcements. If there's any announcements that anyone would like, now's a good time. All right, thank you. Oh, go ahead.
I'll share a miracle actually. So there have been financial goals that I've been setting, two in particular, and one of them was a savings goal, and I met that, and that was really dope. I never put them on my dream board, and I'm thinking that I should have, I still could. And the other one was, I think I announced this on the last Mastermind. I was like, I took out a few new lines of credit, and I expect my credit score to be above 700 pretty soon. And that was my other goal, to get my credit score to a quote good state from where it was before, and I officially met that goal as well. And it's not so much just that it's financial, it's this realization that, wow, I set these goals and I worked towards them and I got them so quick. I did not expect to get them so quick. And the way it worked out was not how I expected at all. Like, I didn't know kind of what I didn't know. Like, before I set out to have the savings goal, I didn't know where the money was going to come from exactly. I mean, I had a plan, but, that plan was kind of, might work, might not work. We'll see, depending on how things go. Same thing with my credit score. I had no idea really how to raise my credit score. So as time passed, these different sources came. There's this idea that the Shah expresses about being open to all different kinds of abundance. And I think that was reflected in the accomplishing these goals where money came from unexpected sources to help me reach my savings goal. And with my credit, information and resources and help came from sources that I could have anticipated before I set the goal, or couldn't have anticipated when I first set the goal. So that's very dope, just realizing that, I can manifest something, or I can set a goal and I can manifest it much more quickly than I expected to. So I would consider those some miracles, just that re-recognition of that ability to manifest relatively easily. Like, I put a bit of work in, but it was a relatively easy manifestation, and yeah, it's miracle worthy to me. Back to you, Mr. Post.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Clayton, Saborian, Kaisha. So we'll move on to the Mastermind flow. And, during this time, if you have any comments, observations, questions, you can have the floor for 5 or 10 minutes and sort of share what's on your mind, what's on your heart, or what you've been thinking about. And then, as a group, we will allow the mastermind to flow from us. And, after so much amount of time, I may say, okay, we'll take a break on this topic and we'll open it up to the floor again. So, we'll take turns and share whatever it is that we would like for the mastermind. Okay, so is there anyone who would like to kick-start us off?
Before we get into that, I'm curious what the schedule is for the, quarterly mastermind?
Oh, the schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next week, no, not next week, but next month is the quarterly mastermind, and we ideally one of us should lead it. I don't mind leading the next call, but I was going to ask if any of you would like to lead the next mastermind, which will be similar to what we did before, where we were all on the Google chat, the voice chat. We do that again next month in June. So, is there anyone who would like to lead the June call?
I'll do it this time.
All right, cool. So yeah, next month, Kaisha will lead a video call for us. All right, so we'll stay tuned for next month's call. But for now, with no further ado, is there anyone who would like to lead off a topic for tonight's mastermind.
I have a topic. I was, thinking about chief aims, and I was also thinking about whether my day-to-day or my week-to-week or month-to-month habits reflected that I was working towards my chief aim. Originally, for a while now, my chief aim has been to create a massive online co-op that assists anyone in the development and sustainment of a universe-class consciousness or mindset, and to earn me a net of $10,000 a month. And as far as my behavior and my habits, I feel like I'm still kind of working towards that. Like, I'm working on my platform. I decided to recently treat myself more as kind of an employee of my own business. And what that means is I have a set number, I give myself a set number of hours that I work on my platform. And that is the only thing I focus on. No email, no phone, no music, no anything. I purely devote my focus to that. Then when I'm done, just like a job, I go home mentally, so to speak, and I kind of relax and everything. So in that sense, I think I'm working towards my chief aim. That's a habit that I'm building, working towards my chief aim of creating this massive online platform. But there's other activities and habits that seem to suggest that I'm working towards a different kind of chief aim, or that I have a different goal in mind. Like, I'm taking care of my body. Like, I make sure that I go to the gym and I do yoga and I take hikes and practice my presence. And I remember thinking that, I remember thinking several times, my chief aim is to be here now. Because I've been listening to a lot of Paul Lowe lately, and he reminded me of kind of the significance of being here now. And sometimes I feel like, oh wait, I thought my chief aim was to build this platform. And so I'm wondering if I'm getting off track with all this meditating, with all this presence. But then I realized, it actually feeds into my chief aim still. Because in order to build the kind of platform I envision, I think it's important to personally develop myself and to spiritually develop myself. And I've also learned that, there will be moments when I'm working on my platform and I'm like, I don't know how to solve this situation or this challenge that came up. And I'll get frustrated and I'll get kind of upset, and then, it's time to be present. I catch it like pretty quickly. Time to be present. And, because I use the permission slip of going to the gym to feel better. I feel better overall, and it's easier to get into that state. So I see how it all kind of comes together. But what I wanted to ask the mastermind, I'm curious what your guys' chief aims are. Because I know sometimes it changes as we have more experiences and have more reflections and insights about ourselves. And the second question as well, do you think your day-to-day habits, your day-to-day behavior and thoughts and whatnot reflect that you're working towards that chief aim?
I can respond first. um, yeah, this is my where I am right now. Okay, so my chief aim right now is to run a business that I enjoy. So it's my life's work. So I'm looking for my life's work. I'm looking for something that I love to do, that I want to do every single day, and I make at least $5,000 a month doing it. So it's pretty open, it's pretty vague, and I'm kind of in a place of what do I love to do? Let me find what I love to do. I want to wake up every day and enjoy my business and enjoy my life's work and enjoy what I'm doing, and I don't know what that is yet. But anyways, that's my chief aim. And what I do every day reflects that. So, I mean, I've been listening to a lot of ethics and stuff, and basically my approach, like I'm not in a hurry. I know I've been in a place before where I'm in a hurry, like I need money to pay my bills, or I need whatever. I'm not comfortable right now. I don't like my livelihood. I need this to happen quickly. I'm not in that place right now. So, I mean, I think every creation is different. I think every chief aim for everybody will be different. But for me right now, I'm in a place where I'm pretty grateful. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. And I'm not really in a rush. I'm like more enjoying every single little new step, like, oh, this is what I like, or I wonder if this is what I would like, kind of thing, like more in an exploratory mode, like okay with it not being here now, like okay, probably even okay with never getting it. I think I'm getting there, like, you know, whatever. I'm just kind of like, I want to find what I love to do, I want to find my life there, but I'm not really in a hurry. So, I mean, you asked the question, is what I'm doing every day in line with that? I do not think I've jumped realities yet. Like, I don't think I'm thinking the thoughts as if I'm there. So, I think your question was more about action, right? Your question was more about, am I actually physically working in this business, or working on a business, or working on building a business that I love? And I guess the answer to that is no. The answer to that is more like, I'm in a phase right now where I think you're in a different zone from me. I think you're in the building phase where you already know what you want, or your dream is you're already working on your dream. I don't know. I don't know if it's different. But anyways, what I was trying to say is, where I am right now, the answer to your question is no. I would say I'm not in a place where I'm physically, my actions are working on that, but I'm more thinking about it, meditating on it, writing. So yeah, I'm in this creation phase and not quite in the action phase right now. That's my answer to the question.
Well, I would like to sort of, challenge this idea of chief aim. Now, we've listened to KT a lot over the years, and I know he says a lot about chief aim, always something we're working for. And it sort of makes it seem as though there's always this one thing that, is always the focus, it never changes, and we have actions that we consciously know are always getting us to this thing. But I disagree with this belief because, for me, chief aim changes a lot, and it's like, sometimes it's about money, sometimes it's not about money, sometimes I have a goal about an amount of money to pay something, but then I don't get any money, but this thing I was trying to pay for takes care of itself. And so then I'm like, well, did any of my actions lead me towards this? And it's kind of subjective, or it doesn't always relate one-to-one, that I do this thing and I feel like it brings me to this thing. So that's why I feel like it's more of an art. Like, what is it ideally that I would like to achieve in life? And I would like to bring us all closer to what it is that we want. And I believe, like, right now, overall, I believe the more connected that we are, as far as connected to resources, connected to each other, but then at the same time, um, connected to ourselves, like our own higher self, and not necessarily putting these physical things ahead of our personal growth, like being able to kind of paint our life the way that we want to paint it. Like I have some overall ideals, but when it comes to like, what's your chief physical aim? What is it like that I'm really trying to do in a day-to-day, everyday life when, related to money or related to business goals? I feel like that changes, that switches, and so it's the same idea with actions. Like what actions is going to lead me towards this physical thing? Like you could say meditating. Like for some people, they would say, Julian, meditating would actually help you more with what you're trying to do. And for some other people, it could be like, listening to this audio is better, or I guess writing this piece of idea, or researching this this creator, or going to these events. I guess there's many different things that could all count as is what we are doing, going to this physical thing. But I still want to challenge the whole idea in general, as far as saying or making it as important as KT made it, because he made it like that's the only thing that matters, is going towards this idea of an aim that is physical. But I feel like when we talk about the activities that could ideally get us to everything we want in life, a lot of it is an art where, even though some days I want to meditate, other days I won't meditate. So does that mean that the days that I am not meditating is getting me further away, or the days that I am meditating is getting me closer? I feel like it depends. Like it's not a one answer for all. Like, so my answer is like I believe everything that I'm doing right now is getting me closer to what I want overall in life, but that's only based upon, my own beliefs. Like it probably isn't based on anything that you could put tangibly. That's my response.
I like what I like the comments that you guys have been making. I feel that chief aim is something that is flexible and does change over time. Um, and there's many things that we want in life at different points. Um, I could actually say, though, that I believe my chief aim, at least right now, is what I feel that we are all here to do. I feel that we're here to bless the world. Like, we're here to bless each other. We all have unique talents and skills and abilities and potential to bless everyone with what we have to bring, what we have to offer. It's funny because, like I was saying, I really don't know what I'm here to do ultimately, but I do feel that I am here to bless the world, and I feel that I'm working towards that because I'm getting to know more about myself and just being at one with everybody and everything. think that really it's just going to come to me because as I am enjoying life and keeping that in mind and blessing others in ways that I can, taking advantage of those opportunities as I see them, naturally it's going to happen because that is something that I have some focus on and I am working towards. That faith in action, that's what makes it happen. And so, yeah, that's been an idea of mine, like the fact that I feel that everybody is here to bless the world in a certain way. And so right now I could say that that is my key thing that I'm working for. I mean, of course, I would, like to make a nice living off of that and financially free and flexible with my life. But yeah, I feel that we are all here to enjoy life and to bless others. Because I mean, when you bless others, that helps them enjoy life more and enjoying life is full point.
All right, thank you. We'll put a period for the time being right here. Thanks for opening it up, Clayton, with a question about Chief Aim. I want to sort of rephrase and ask again, kind of taking Clayton's lead on Chief Aim, just to maybe clarify a little bit more or drill down on the idea of Chief Aim. Because I mean, I never said I didn't have a Chief Aim. I mean, I gave like an overarching one, but I have a physical. Maybe let me put it that way. I have a more physical, smaller Chief Aim that is tangible that you can quantify. I'm not comfortable sharing it right now, but I do want to sort of ask about this idea because, like, there's another part of this, which is what we sort of talked about last week, or last call, where we talked about parallel universes, and we discussed the idea of shifting. So, we're in one reality, and I remember the last call, Kaisha was talking about a miracle that she had with her manager, where, she shifted, basically. She shifted, she didn't say those words, but she shifted into another reality to where the person who is in charge of all the hiring, basically they saw each other in a random place and ended up having a good conversation about Kaisha's prospects of getting this job. So, that is shifting because before this, they had never spoken. Kaisha was probably a little bit more worried about whether a position would be, but then she's in this new reality where she talked and she has a calm, rested mind, already feeling as though everything's falling into place. And so that's my idea with the Chief Aim, this Chief Aim that I am thinking of in my own life. Like, I have already shifted into this reality where, the Chief Aim is already here. Now, it could be like, if I'm using this example of Kaisha's miracle where she talked with the hiring manager, like for me and my Chief Aim, if my Chief Aim was the hiring manager having the conversation, that could already be in the works. Let's say I've already shifted in that reality, and it's just not here physically, but the universe knows that 7 days from now, or we could say God knows 7 days from now, that T-Fame, me, if I'm speaking to the manager or I'm getting the new raise, like that's already happening in 7 days based on my current trajectory. But physically I don't know that. So how can I quantify the things that I do? Like how can I say, should I be doing X, Y, and Z? Like, just because logically that sounds like what I should be doing? Or what if my body, or what if my conscious spirit just feels like doing this other thing, this totally unrelated thing, and that just happens to be the thing that I should have been doing based on this trajectory that I'm on, But what if I don't know that logically? I'm just thinking logically, trying to do these other tasks which are more maybe burdensome just because I think logically that's where I'm supposed to be going. Whereas if I shifted into this parallel reality, shouldn't I trust my conscious spirit? Shouldn't I trust just what my mind is telling me? Trusting my heart over my logic. Shouldn't I start feeling my heart, because logically I can't put it together how it's going to really come together anyway. So that's a question, kind of digging deeper on this idea of T-Fame. Like, I'm wondering what the Mastermind feels about that, like about the idea of just shifting into the reality where you're trusting now your feelings and the emotions that you have, versus using just the physical activities that we think are supposed to get us there. I'm curious about how you guys think or feel about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you that I hear what you're saying. Like, you're saying basically that the activity is to come from a place of being connected first. Like, number one, we're connected. I remember listening to Esther Hicks the other day. You had it on. And Esther Hicks was like, step away from your reality. She was like, lock yourself up in a room and step away from the reality, or take a couple of days off. I think she had said like 3 weeks or something crazy. And she was like, step away from the reality. And then thoughts will begin to occur to you. And as soon as you think it, then that's when she said, take action. Take action from that place of inspiration. You're getting thoughts of inspiration. You're in a vibration of inspiration. Taking action from that place. And I think, Julian, you're contrasting it with us not being in that place, us being in our day-to-day place, and us saying, this is what I think I need to be doing every single day. And then you're saying that's not true. Once we're in the space, things will occur to us to do, places will occur to us to go, and once we're following that inspiration, then our path is unfolding. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are the things that came up from what you said, and I think you made a good point on that. I like this new, thought that I'm realizing.
Yeah, I think, well, when I first brought up the topic and was talking about it, I was saying what came to me at the moment, and I didn't necessarily mean that the action you were taking had to be physical towards your chief aim. And I think I did mention that your chief aim may have changed over time, and I don't know. I just it seems as though Brooks, you especially are suggesting that I'm talking about physical actions towards something and using logic to get towards your chief aim. when that's not exactly the impression I meant to give. I think that's just how I was expressing my particular path towards my true fame. So yeah, I agree that it's your state of being that brings about whatever reality you experience, and not necessarily your actions. Although I also acknowledge that, or I agree with certain things that KT and Bashar talk about. When KT talks about when you're thinking right, and when you're thinking right, then you'll want to do the action. You'll feel good about it. And I think I was more so talking about a state of being, like whether the state of being you're in from day to day feels like you're getting closer to your chief aim. And I guess my definition of chief aim is kind of what you were saying, Brooks, where it's what you really want to accomplish, which are less like the predominant state of being you see yourself in for a good portion of your life, at least at this point in time. I like how you threw out the idea of your state of being. I've heard some interesting concepts about that, and one thing that sometimes I would say we may fail to realize is that we control our state, and that is so powerful. I think that when you start to, like the idea of embodying this person that you are trying to experience, I think gradually your actions and behaviors do change. That's one concept that I really like about in the book Psycho-Cybernetics, because as you see and experience this person in your mind, in different situations, you start to take on these characteristics, these qualities, mannerisms, and behaviors. And I think you just changed, and I think that's the whole point. Like that's the point of this journey too. Everything that comes with it, like you change, and I think changing who you are being, changing your being. I don't know if I would say, at least from what I've been learning, that's like the most natural way to switch things up, to make a change in your life.
All right. Thank you. Thank you guys all for sharing on that. We have maybe a couple more minutes. If any final thoughts or any last conversations?
I do want to share a final thought. I had a realization today about the phrase "faith without works is dead." That's in the Bible, because I think this conversation touches on it. So the Bible says faith without works is dead, and I think traditionally a lot of people have taken that to mean that if you just believe or think or don't do any physical action, that nothing will come forth of it. There will be no fruit. However, I actually read the Bible verse and I was like, oh, so anyways, without going into deep in detail, what I understood it to mean, reading it in the larger context, is the same thing that KT in the same way that KT phrases it, how KT puts it is, to know and not to do is not to know. And I think the portion of action that, for me, that I'm realizing that I am concerned about is to be in the place of acting in accordance with these principles. So all of my actions, regardless of whether it's to do with my teeth aim or it's just with the guy at the supermarket or anything, like I'm acting like I believe that, whatever, my thoughts create my reality, how I treat others, reflects back on me, like we're all one, we're all love, like actually my behaviors in my day-to-day life reflect that. And maybe taking it a step further, if we're trying to create this reality, create this peace aim, that my actions towards other people, like the things that I say, the choices that I make, reflect that I believe that this is going to happen. So I think, I don't know, I guess going back to Julian's point of it depends on the kind of action, it kind of goes there as well, but also that the action is working and doing and acting in accordance with our beliefs, I guess, in our current reality. Anyways, that's just my final thoughts on this, taking it a little bit, on a little branch out there, but I can't believe time is up, so that's all.
Yes, thank you. I would like to go further on this, but, I feel like we're right at time just about, so anything that I say could spark up other things where people would be like, oh, I want to say something, but there's not enough time to share. So, I would also continue, but I think it's a good time to stop for now. That's a good final thought there from Kaisha. So, yeah, we started off with what I feel like saying now, went through miracle moments, and we all had some miracles in our lives over the month of May. So, continue to monitor your life for lucky coincidences or different things. Clayton actually hitting some longer term goals, and that's good to hear. Also went into the Mastermind flow and talked a lot about Chief Aim and the vibe with Chief Aim on how to feel into it versus just acting into it. And so, I'm sure we just scratched the surface on that. But we will end it with 5 IMs. So I will say 5 IMs and then I'll popcorn to the next person. I am learning. I am a student of growth. I am a child of God. I am wise. I am courageous. Popcorn Saboyan.
I am blessed. I am growing. I am at peace. I am soft. I am popcorn Pablo.
I am grateful for my mastermind. I am crazy. I am feeling the love. I am becoming more aware of the magic of my experiences. I am loving my life. Popcorn, Aisha.
I am blissful. I am living my life's purpose. I am constantly creating. I am joyful. I am expanded. Back to you, Julian.
Awesome. All right. That is all for tonight. We will have the June Mastermind on the Google chat, and Kaisha will lead our flow, our rap session, so to speak. And so looking forward to that, seeing all your beautiful smiles and dimples. So check back next month. It'll probably be a lot warmer. Days will be much longer as well. And things are heating up. So have a good rest of your Sunday. And we'll talk again next month. Good night, everyone.
Guys, have a good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Oh, that was it back to you, Brother Brooks, since you...
Oh, sorry, I had my phone on mute. But yeah, we just finished